Thank you. So, Venerable Ahalyagoda Dhammapada Thero, Venerable Kusala, Venerable Narada, President of the Thames Meditation Society, Mr. Chandra Mendis, Mr. Nihal Jayadilaka, Mr. Rushan Pereira, Thames Meditation Society guests, parents, teachers, and my dear children. Before I start my talk on this very heavy topic, I must say, sitting there watching all of you, your beautiful announcing, which Auntie has always admired, all the beautiful art and your business ideas, I am so admirable of all of it. Well done, children. I think we must all give them a round of applause. It's so admirable, and you are such a talented bunch of children. So I'm so proud to say that you are all Thames Buddhist Vihara Dhamma School children. And like one of you said, what a great way to celebrate Entrepreneurship Week. Myself, being an entrepreneur, I think I would be delighted one day to see some or most of you become entrepreneurs in the UK and to see your success stories. And that's my wish today for all of you here. So with that, thank you Subha and the parents and teachers for giving me this opportunity and inviting me to talk about this amazing topic, which is quite a deep topic. I will try my best to say it so that the children can understand it as well. So let's start with economic equality, social justice and sustainability. Is it possible to bring it forward just a little bit so I can see the screen? Thank you. So any idea what this means, children? Do you know anything about it? Yes, I can see one person putting their hand up. Yes? Yes, stand and please share what you think it is.
Economic equality is equality in the side of finance, and that also relates to entrepreneurship too. And social justice is about how you take action in when you socialize with other people, and sustainability is when you keep that going on and on.
Well done. Thank you, Putta. A round of applause for him. I think that's amazing. He should be doing the talk, not me. So I'll try to repeat some of what he said. So I thought I will first tell you all about what these three things are: economic equality, social justice, and sustainability. So economic equality is the fair distribution of wealth and resources across a society. So this is making sure that everybody has access to education, healthcare, and distribution of raw resources, so that everybody has access to it and not just some people and others don't have it. So I want to show the children a picture, just to give you a bit of an idea of what it is. Can you see in the top portion of it? That is showcasing when the economic equality is not equal. So when some people don't have food to eat, they can't go to school, they don't have enough resources, whereas in some parts of the world, the governments would make sure that everybody has access to healthcare, to education, and also the income is distributed in a very fair manner. So that is what is meant by economic equality, like Putha said. Okay? Understood? So going back, then the next topic was around social justice. So I think Putha said that really well. Social justice is a society in which all individual groups are treated fairly, equitably, and with respect. So that is very important. So everybody is treated equally and with a lot of respect. So I've got another picture for you children. So can you see on the left hand side, there are some countries where people will not treat some parts of the country or some people, they will not treat them the same. They will ill-treat them, they will think of them as second-class citizens, and they will create wars, they will try to get people out of that geography, and that is also a very big reason why some of the current wars are happening. And another area is when children don't have access to education because they are women or girls. So there are a lot of countries where still girl children don't have access to education. So that is not an equitable society. Whereas I must say, all of you are very lucky because you all live in England, where you have quite a lot of equality and social justice. You can go to school, whether you're a girl or a boy, you all have the same access to education and the same rights to work, etc. And a lot of the time, people are treated as equals, so they won't judge you. So that is what social justice is. And then going back to sustainability, I think Putha, when he explained it extremely well. So sustainability is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to come, so that they are not lack of resources. And hands up, those of you who have heard about ESG, maybe you talk about ESG in school, environmental, social and governance, yes? Well done. Okay, so some of the older ones would have talked about ESG. So that comes under sustainability. So making sure that we protect our resources, we look after our environment, so that generations to come, like all of you as well as your children and their children's children, have enough resources to, rather than us just consumption of like resources really badly. So just to give you an example, like every time you consume something, think about sort of, are you doing it in the correct way? Okay? So that is what is meant by sustainability. So I've given you a bit of a overview of what those three are. So when you put those three together, those values promote a world where resources and opportunities are what? Fairly shared, and individual and communities are respected and treated equally, and the environment is preserved for the future generations. Okay? Got it? Well, excellent. So that is what is meant by those three. And now, actually, before I go to that, I wanted to then talk to you about our Buddha. Now, Buddha, 2,600 years ago, talked about all three of these. Almost all of the Dhamma was embedded into, or these three were embedded to a lot of the Dhamma, the teachings of the Buddha. So isn't it amazing, children, that as Buddhists we are born, we don't need to learn about this. We learn it through the Dhamma, and if we live by the Dhamma, this will come naturally to us. How to respect other people, how to preserve our resources, and how to have equality, how to have economic equality. So I'm going to now show you what the Buddha has said about these three topics. So there you go. So what I have done is I've just sort of, I don't know whether you can see the screen, but I'm going to share this deck with you in the Dhamma School group chat. So you can take this away, print it out and read about it. But that's why I wanted to sort of put how Buddhism encapsulates all of these three themes in so many ways. So let's take one at a time. Economic equality. So Buddha discusses how the wealth should be earned and spent ethically. So if you look at all the stanzas, the suttas and the Dhammapada, talks extensively about how wealth should be earned and how it should be spent ethically. And also Buddha talks about sort of treating equally the people in a country, having fair wages, healthcare access, education, etc. And Buddhism also touches what you all will all know about. Something that you all already do is dana or generosity. So that comes under having an economic equality as well. So dana, generosity is very much embedded in that. Okay? Then next is sustainability. So Buddha here talks again about harmony with nature and mindful consumption. So I will take you through that a little bit more. But again, another place where Buddha really talks about sustainability is having a right livelihood. So selecting a livelihood which doesn't harm yourself, harm others, or harms the environment at large. Okay? So I will take you through that. And another place is also, I think the sadhus will agree with this, in the Bhikkhu's Vinaya Pitaka. I think Buddha talks very much about sort of, tells this monk, when they have even a bowl of water, you're supposed to turn it the other way around so that ants or animals or insects won't fall into it and so they can die. And I think there was another place where he talks about sort of even not plucking a leaf from a tree. So there it takes to a very high level of protecting the environment, protecting other living beings. So there's a lot of places that Buddha has talked about sustainability in the Dhamma. And then another area, the third aspect is the social justice. Now for me, I think that is where Buddha has talked, or the Dhamma is all about social justice. I know we talk about social justice today, but the Dhamma is all about social justice. So it's where Buddhism is really grounded in this idea of loving kindness, compassion. You would have heard all these words. We have talked about it in Dhamma days. And then he himself, during his time, like 2,600 years ago, he himself abandoned caste systems. He allowed anyone from any caste to become ordained and become a disciple of his. He also invited the women to come and get ordained. So this was 2,600 years ago that he allowed and included. So there's a lot of inclusion in the Dhamma, in the Sangha, and what Buddha, the way he sort of gave the Dhamma to all of us. And then also his sutra, I think, do you all know the Karaniya Metta Sutta? And the Karaniya Metta Sutta, you must be like reading the sansas in the temple. It's all about loving kindness and compassion. So there you go. So 2,600 years ago, Buddha talked about all these three topics, immensely. And isn't it amazing that we are Buddhists, that we now when, in work, in school, in society, they talk about these. We as Buddhists, we already have it in our Dhamma. Super. So with that, some very quick ones for the children. So don't want to make this very long, but just some places where you can really practice this on a day-to-day level. So this is the 10 wholesome deeds, or the Dasa Kusal. So right conduct with body. You all know these, I think. Abstain from killing, abstain from stealing, abstaining from misbehaving with your sense pleasures. Then right conduct with words. So abstaining from telling lies, slander, talking roughly, or frivolous talk and gossip. And then with your mind, now this is very important. With your mind, abstain from being greedy, angry, and to cultivate the right view. So these are ways where you can really practice. In our Dhamma, we are being given how to contribute towards economic equality, social justice, and sustainability. So another one is the 4 divine abodes. Now, who has heard about Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka? I think we've done a few Dhamma days. Yes, I can see some hands going up. I think it's a really important topic. So here, loving kindness or Metta is universal love for everybody. So what does that then cover with our 3 topics? Which one do you think that addresses? Yes? Yes?
Social justice.
Yes, absolutely. Well done. Social justice. So it says in social justice, you have to treat everyone equally. So there you go. Buddha has said, you just have to have loving kindness and compassion. Now, compassion, I wanted to also tell you, compassion is not just feeling sorry for someone. It's taking it a bit further. So Buddha said, it's where you have compassion, where you help someone in trouble. That is compassion. Again, doing something. So again, addressing that social justice, sustainability, as well as economic equality. And then the third one is mudita, one of my favorites, having happiness in others' happiness. So this is the opposite of what? Can anyone say what this is the opposite of? Yes, Dua? Go for it. Just try. Yes, karuna is the second one. So that is compassion. Mudita, what is the opposite of mudita? So if you're happy for others' happiness. Yes? Sad, yes, well, close, but I'm looking for a word opposite of mudita. Yes, Puta? Jealousy, well done. Yes, one of my favorites. So opposite of mudita is jealousy. So when someone has something, you're jealous. Now, if you're not jealous, you have happiness for others' happiness, and that can contribute to a lot of social justice and equality. Okay? And the fourth one is equanimity or upekka. So not getting too agitated in sadness or happiness, having sort of equanimous mind. Okay? So those are the 4. So I was actually, when I was going through this, I was thinking maybe we do a Dhamma day and talk about each topic individually, because this is such a big area. Then the very important one again, where Buddha has talked about all these 3 aspects of the 3 topics that we are talking today about, is the Noble Eightfold Path. So this is something I like to talk a lot about at Dhamma days. So I'm not going to spend too much time here, but the Noble Eightfold Path with right view, right intention, right speech, right action. Can you see right livelihood there? I know I can point with this somewhere. Is it this one? Oh, no, I don't want to do anything. So, right livelihood. So, Buddha actually has that as one of the 8 in the Eightfold Path. Talks about right livelihood, where you have to select a profession, do something that doesn't harm yourself or harm others. So, that is very, very important in the Noble Eightfold Path, and which addresses these 3 topics. Then right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Again, topics to be talked about as we go on in future Dhamma days. And then finally, the other one I have got for you is the Satara Sangraha Vastu. So this also was really interesting when I saw it, because this talks about how a ruler or a world leader, or even like a business leader, what they should be doing to ensure that they have economic equality and social justice amongst people. And these 4, charity, dana, again we talk about the generosity, the charity and the dana, sharing what we have with others. Pleasant speech, always saying and speaking good words. And then equality, just treating everyone equally and performing services to the world. So these are like specifically Buddha talked about, like a leader of a country. So I'm hoping like one day some of you might, become business leaders. Some of you might become politicians. You might become MPs. You might also be one day, one of you might become the Prime Minister of the UK. And so when you one day become that, remember this is something you should read. This Dhamma that Buddha has given gives you an easy sheet to follow to become a good leader. So I thought I must mention that. So you remember this one day when you're older. This is something you should really remember, and if you want at that time, please come and ask Auntie. I will be very happy to find all the literature on it. And then that's not all. Amazingly, Buddhism has so many suttas about how to create economic equality, justice, and sustainability. So I've actually put each of these suttas into all of those areas, and I'm happy to explain each of those sutras very quickly what they are, but I think I'm conscious of the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write little summaries for you about what the sutta says, just like about 3-4 lines, and I'm going to put it in the group WhatsApp PS. So please ask your parents when you get it to share it with you, so you can read it yourself and see how each of the suttas, like Karaniyametta Sutta, Mangala Sutta, the Silagalobada Sutta, how they addresses each of these 3 topics. So because of timing, I'm not going to go into it. I was planning to say a little bit about it, but it's amazing how much the Dhamma gives us to practice all of this. Yeah? So with that said, I'm going to end my talk, but before I end, I just want to make a very personal comment to all of you children. It is all in us, it is all in our mind, and it is all our responsibility to create a happier world, a happier place where we live. There's no point in sort of putting the blame or expecting others to do it. We as children, and as you grow up, you must always keep this in mind. Whether you are in school, you can always recycle, always make it a point to recycle, protect the environment. If you are using something, be aware of what you're using, what you're consuming. Try to use less plastics, disposables. Try to reuse things. So you can always, at this age as well, you can really contribute to a sustainability and a sustainable living. And then as you grow and you become leaders, you become going into the workforce, there's so many opportunity to treat people well, treat them equally, and make sure there is social justice and economic equality. So how do you do this? Let me end with saying, every day when you wake up, this is something I do, so I thought I must share it with you. Every day when you wake up, tell yourself, do not do any evil, to cultivate the good, to purify my mind, and that was the words of all the Buddhas. So if you can print this, put it in your bedroom, and every morning when you wake up, say, even if you don't have to say the exact word, you can just say may I always do good things, good deeds, remember all the things we talked about today, may I create economic equality, may I create social justice, may I create a sustainable future, and always say, may I do good, let me not do anything bad, and let me always cleanse my mind. Yeah? Say that to yourself every day before you start the day, because then that determination will stay with you for the rest of your life. Okay, with that, thank you very much.